Shot 1. Wide establishing shot. GMA studio, morning. Bright studio lights blaze across the set. Crew members rush around, adjusting cameras and cables. The Good Morning America logo glows on the big screen behind the seating area. Shot 2. Medium shot. Gwen enters from stage left. Gwen Stefani walks in, silver jacket sparkling under the lights. The audience claps with excitement. Gwen gives a quick smile, beautiful but tight, almost controlled. Shot 3. Close-up. Gwen's face. A flash of tension crosses her eyes, barely visible beneath her smile. Shot 4. Medium 2 shot. George stands to greet her. George Stephanopoulos rises from his chair. He extends his hand. Gwen shakes it lightly, stiff but polite. They both sit down. Shot 5. Over the shoulder on George. George shuffles his note cards, clearing his throat as the cameras start rolling. Shot 6. Camera 2. Close up on George. Great to have you here, Gwen. It's been quite a year for you, he says with his practiced morning show calm. Shot 7. Camera 3. Close up on Gwen. Gwen nods. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, she replies, eyes flicking to the audience briefly. Shot 8. Wide 2 shot. The energy feels stable. The interview seems ready to flow smoothly. Gwen relaxes her shoulders. Shot 9. Insert shot. George's hands holding note cards. He taps the edge of a new card, subtle, but intentional. Shot 10. Medium close-up. George. So, he says, you've had new music, collaborations, and the tour announcement. A lot happening. Shot 11. Close-up. Gwen, brighter, more relaxed. Definitely. It's been incredible to reconnect with fans, she says, smiling more naturally now. Shot 12. Camera cut. George looks down at another card. A slight tension enters his body language. He glances up again. Shot 13. Close-up. George. And, there's also been a lot of attention surrounding your personal life. Shot 14. Extreme close-up. Gwen's smile fades. Her lips stay curved, but her eyes narrow. The atmosphere shifts. Shot 15. Wide shot. Audience reacts. People shuffle in their seats. A few eyebrows rise. Even the crew pauses. Shot 16. Close-up. Gwen. George, I'm here to talk about the music today. That's what we discussed. Shot 17. Medium shot. George. He meets her stare, expression calm but unmoving. Shot 18. Cutaway. Makeup artist at edge of set. She freezes with a powder brush in hand, watching. Shot 19. Close-up. Gwen's hand. Her fingers tap once on her knee, sharp, annoyed. Shot 20. Wide shot of studio. The entire room seems to tighten. The interview has only just begun, but the tension is unmistakable. And the moment hangs in the air, unresolved. The studio lights feel hotter now, almost harsh. Gwen shifts in her chair, crossing one leg over the other as she tries to maintain her composure. Her silver jacket catches the light again, but this time the shimmer looks sharper, like armor. George leans slightly forward, note cards resting loosely between his fingers. I understand, he says carefully, but it's hard to ignore the headlines. People are curious about what's true and what isn't. Gwen's jaw tightens. Curious. She echoes, her voice calm but edged. George, people have been curious about my life since I was 17. That doesn't mean I owe anyone anything. A small ripple passes through the audience, someone inhales, someone else whispers. The tension feels almost physical. George tries again, his tone still diplomatic. I'm not looking for drama. I'm just asking what everyone else is thinking. Gwen lets out a soft humorless laugh. Well, maybe everyone needs to think about the music for once. She leans back, arms folding across her chest. A subtle barrier, a quiet message. George pauses, watching her more closely now. A camera shifts position with a soft mechanical whir. A producer offstage makes a tiny gesture, urging the host to pivot, but he doesn't look away from Gwen. The air between them thickens, an unspoken line drawn, neither stepping back. And the moment hangs, tightening, waiting. But not finished. The silence in the studio stretches long enough for everyone to feel it. Even the cameras seem to hum louder, their lenses fixed on Gwen and George like unblinking eyes. George adjusts his posture, trying to regain control of the interview. Gwen, he begins in a gentler tone, you know this show has always supported you. We give artists space to share what matters to them. Gwen leans forward slightly, her expression sharpening. That's not what it feels like right now. A flicker of surprise flashes across George's face. He wasn't expecting her to push back so openly. Gwen continues, voice low but unwavering. I flew across the country, I sat in this chair, and I'm ready to talk about the work. The music. The creativity. But instead, you're steering straight into the noise. George raises his hands in a small, placating gesture. I'm trying to offer clarity. When there's speculation you're choosing to amplify, Gwen interrupts. Her words land like a sudden drop in the room. The audience shifts again, the energy turning heavier. A cameraman swallows nervously, tightening his grip on the rig. Another producer whispers urgently into a headset, eyes darting to the teleprompter as if hoping for guidance. Gwen's tone softens, but only slightly. My job, she says, is to protect the parts of my life that matter. My family. My peace. My sanity. And I won't compromise that because of gossip. George opens his mouth, but hesitates. There's a moment, just a breath, where it feels like he might backtrack. But the tension between them has already crystallized, thick enough to cut. Gwen's stare remains fixed on him, guarded, unblinking. And the studio sits in the charged stillness of two people on opposite sides of a line neither intended to cross. But neither is stepping away from. A sharp exhale escapes Gwen before she even realizes it. Her jaw flexes, frustration swelling past the point she can politely contain. The studio lights glare down on her like interrogation lamps. Every camera in the room feels like it's leaning in. You know what? Gwen says, voice tight, words vibrating with emotion. I don't need this. She reaches for the mic clip to her jacket. Click. One smooth motion. The faint crackle of audio feedback bursts into the speakers. The audience stiffens. George looks up, startled, hands half raised as if to stop her, but he hesitates, unsure if stepping in would make things worse. Gwen, he begins carefully. But she's already rising from her chair. Shot. Wide angle on the set. Her seat spins slightly behind her. Someone in the audience gasps. A stagehand flinches. A producer whispers, oh no, pressing both hands to her headset. Gwen's heels strike the studio floor with sharp, echoing taps as she heads toward stage left. Tap, tap, tap. Each step louder, more final. A stage manager rushes from off camera, panic in his eyes. Gwen, wait, just a second. She lifts a hand without turning around. A firm barrier. A silent command to stop. The crew freezes. George shifts uncomfortably in his chair, caught between professionalism and visible shock. He looks toward the control booth for direction, but none comes. Everyone is too stunned to move. The audience sits motionless, like a living portrait, eyes wide, mouths parted, breaths held. Gwen reaches the edge of the set, her silhouette framed in the glow of the studio lights. Her shoulders rise and fall with a deep breath, the tension radiating from her like static. For a split second, she stops. Just stands there. Her back to the cameras. Her fists clenched. Her breath tight. The whole studio hangs on that single frozen moment. A moment where no one is sure whether she's about to speak. Or walk out completely. And the scene holds. There, suspended in charged silence, before anything can resolve.